Hello everyone. So let's wait a couple minutes and then I'm gonna edit couple photos as an existing set from the Bula Baby shoots. It was the 56mm f1.2. I have some setting here also next to it with the X-T2 setting, just in case you want to do some reference. I will go through those settings later on as well. So I will go through the editing in the VSCO first, and then do the just play through this video so that you can see what's my actual setting is. And these are the sunset photos, and the sunset photo with the mirror, so from through the window shots as well. The way that it gets the tone is using the base classic chrome, the classic chrome here. So let's get started and then edit a couple quick ones. So the first one I'm gonna edit. Let me know if the sound is okay. Also, I will record this one. This video will be recorded, and then if you, in case you haven't have time to watch it, you can watch it later as well. So the first one, this set is from the coffee shop. I would like to use the HB2 for this one. The HB2 filter, you can see the difference is much darker tone for the coffee shop, and it has a brown tone here. However, it has some blue tone. The blue tone, I need to reduce the blue saturation in this. So I'm reducing a couple of the saturation, highlight, save, contrast, just to make sure. Let me check. Yeah, so the highlight save, and I'm gonna crop the bottom here, also the bottom part of the frame, because it has some distraction in here. So you can crop it like this. Hey, hi Michael. Yeah, thanks for joining. So I'm gonna just edit a couple photos in the VSCO. So there's a before and after. You can see that it has a more contrast using the HB2 for the coffee shop style. And then I'm gonna copy the next one to here. So this one a little bit too dark for me. I'm gonna reduce the maybe 60%. You can adjust the it depends how much darker that you want on your feed for the consistency. And make sure that the shadow is not covering the eyes. You can see the reflection. This reflection is the car reflection on the window, on the coffee shop window right here. So just to make sure when you're shooting through the windows, those bright objects not totally covering the eyes. I think for this one is fine because it's ending on the side edge of the face. So as long as it's not totally covering the eyes, if not distracted. You can see that the next car space is on here. So these are the two parking space. So you can position the portrait in between the parking space so that it's more clear on the head shot as well. So this is one of the tips when you're shooting through the windows. Just make sure the spacing even on the reflection is good on that. So let me adjust the highlight save. Just based on each photo, you can adjust different highlight save on here. Okay, so the next one, I'm gonna copy this one. and then paste it here. This one might be too strong on the contrast. And for the window shot, we can try the E5 also. So the E5 has overall more faded tone in here. So it's just a different style for the E5. Sometimes you can reduce a little bit more of the exposure for the E5. So yeah, so let's see in this one. Let me double check if my background music is still playing. So I use a playlist for the epidemic sound. So it's for the background music for YouTube, so that we don't have to worry about the rights, because we subscribe to the epidemic sound also. So let's see this one and then the next one. So let's continue edit this batch, and then this is my editing process, usually around 2 to 3 minutes. So let me paste it that one to here, and you can play around with different tone as well, but those are too strong. This one might too green on this one. So I'm gonna go back to the HB tool, but this time it has much less for this one, and then 4:5 crop like this. Hey, thanks everyone for joining. Sing, how do you manage to retouch skin when you are editing on the phone? So before today, I already retouch using the app. So I use the Facetune tool to retouch, just in case to show you. So I use a Facetune tool. It has a nice set of tools to retouch. Facetune tool is paid. Facetune 1 is free. So in order to retouch, you can do a patch. You can do patch just in case you want to patch something like this, and you can adjust like that. And after that, it shows it doesn't look like it's there already, so you can just continue to patch. The same thing happen, you can patch on the skin also. So you can do retouching on the phone on the go, so you don't have to bring your laptop, just in case you needed some retouching. So you can smooth the I'm using my phone here, so you can smooth the skin using this feature right here. So that's it, and then save it, and then you can open on the VSCO. So that's the retouching I did on here. It's pretty quick, convenient for the one that if you don't want to bring the laptop on the travel, you just do some quick retouching. That's pretty quick for me also. So just in case, sometimes I still like the Lightroom because it has more control on the exposure, but if the exposure is good, and then you can just retouch on the go right there. For Instagram crop, it's 4:5, and then you can crop it on the VSCO, so that you don't have to crop it on the retouching. So that just keep it original size over there. And one of the advantage of the Facetune tool is it retains the quality image on the. So the next image I just discovered is the same. So it retains the same size image on after the Facetune tool exported. So these two are the same image. So I'm gonna ignore one of them. I'm gonna copy and then paste it to these two. So you can see that it might be a little bit dark for your feed. You can just adjust the exposure a little bit if it's too dark. But I think sometimes it depends on what's your previous post. You can choose dark or bright for what you choose to build the feed. If it's a fall season, you usually choose a darker. Yeah, usually choose a darker image. Sorry, maybe you already told us, but are you editing JPEG or RAW? Right now it's JPEG. I uploaded all the JPEG on the Dropbox as different folders and then download to my phone. Then use Facetune tool to edit and then export it. So the JPEG is pretty good already for the Fujifilm. I just edit them. But for some cases I use the Lightroom like the X-T3 before. But I think my next shoot I will shoot on the Fine plus RAW on the Fujifilm, so that I can either use both, use the Lightroom for the Fujifilm or just use the Fine image. It has a pretty good and then it's pretty sharp already, so the X-T2 is already very sharp for that. So it's let me edit this couple ones. I'm gonna copy this one and then paste it. So I don't need to paste it. I feel like this image is good too. So sometimes for the head direction, if the portrait is looking to the left side like this, you can leave more room on the left, or put it in the center is fine too. It depends. Sometimes it's if your feed the next picture is really tight to the edge of the frame, you can just leave more room like that, so that it plans out what's next on your feed. What I'm talking about is I'm using the UNUM, this app, to arrange my feed. So for example, the one that I just added, I'm going to import it, and you can see that the next space is you can leave more next space in here. So the one that I just edited, for example, this one is looking to the right, and then the one that I just posted today is looking to the right also. So you don't want two photos straight. You don't want two photos straight to look to the right at the same time. Or you want a full body, or you want to just put like the looking straight one, or you want put the other one on the like looking to the right is fine. So do you have a favorite app or process for editing image without the need of skin retouching? Yeah, I use VSCO. Yeah, without the need of for retouching. If I yeah, before I use the Facetune 2 app, I use VSCO only. Right now I can use the Facetune 2, the one that I just showed you, to retouch the skin. You can retouch the eyeshadow also. So but it takes some time just to patch stuff. Like if you want to patch sorry, let me patch another leaf, for example. So let me go back. I'm gonna patch another leaf like this, and then you can just, it's kind of like Lightroom, you just patch the spot right there and then like that. So it's pretty convenient for this app. Okay, so let me edit the next one. Oh, desktop app. Yeah, they have some VSCO has some Lightroom preset also, but Lightroom, I tried to use some preset before, it's too strong. I use that slider also, but I just use Lightroom just to do some basic retouching and then some increased lighting stuff. Hey, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks everyone joining. I know some of you are from different countries. Right now it might be dark on your location also. I try to set a different time to do the live so that some people can attend the live session, because some people from the Europe right now, I think it's 12 midnight already. So I might plan some late night in California also, so that in case some other people from Indonesia or other countries, they can join. Are you going to be using Fujifilm, or you really need to work Canon Sony system? Given your recent BTS from this later system, yeah. So I'm using 3 systems at the same time. I'm still using Fujifilm, and recently I added a lot of X-T2, because I found out that X-T2 is very nice for the X-T2, very nice for the still. Hey, from Iran and from Vietnam, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining from different part of the globe. Yeah, do you customize your camera setting, highlight, shadow, sharpness? Yes, or everything default. So that's why I'm gonna show. So let's show this a little bit. I'm gonna show this one. Maybe I make it bigger. So image size, yeah, the same. This one untouched, and then let me go through this one a little bit since you're here. Classic Chrome, I didn't modify anything, just standard Classic Chrome. Dynamic range, I leave it default. This one I put it on the fluorescent one, didn't change anything. This is the one that I changed for my X-T2. Like for the image look like this one as a base. So this one, the color I do +2, and then sharpness +1. Noise reduction, I created another video. I have another video called Fujifilm noise reduction video. I compare the without the -4 with the 0, and the -4 is much sharper. So I make it -4 right now. Sorry, I think that screen might be too big, huh? I just noticed that. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna show this one. So -4 long exposure, I didn't change. Yeah, noise reduction -4, and then just going down the list quickly. Yep, didn't change. Focus area, custom setting, I just leave it at the 1 right now. I use the AFS for my X-T2. X-T2 has my old setting also. I didn't change the. I tried the IAF already. So, but I use a single focus AFS. It's good for the. It's good for my like backlight shot already. Sometimes the backlight, the IAF confused, and for this one sensor auto 1 for the setting. 200 default max sensitivity. I just max it out at the 12800 because the X-T2 has a very nice low light shooting already. I just make it 1280, and for the 1/125 second shutter speed as a minimum, because if at night, if you don't set this one, if you get a lot of blur image, it's not sharp also. So just make sure that the shutter speed is nice too. So just in case you want to set the aperture priority mode, I use this setting as my main setting, and every other thing is unchanged from here. everything I just set it as default. So the mainly that setting has the auto, and then all other setting flash I didn't change, and then the video I didn't use a lot for video for the XT2. Yep, so that's about it. Okay, let's continue. Just there are a couple more shots from the coffee shop. Let me copy the previous edit. Okay, this one I haven't finished the cropping, so let me crop this one. You can see that my shadow is in the back already. My head shadow is right there already, but it's hard to tell when you are as the viewer, and then when you're cropping like that. Sometimes use your body as the dark background to contrast the head is pretty nice too. So just keep in mind that sometimes you can use your own shadow on the reflection on the window to create strong contrast background to like to make the window portrait work. Okay, I just saw the stream saying there might be some buffer going on. Like let me know if there's some lagging also. So yeah, I just saw the notification in the stream saying that it has some. Yeah. Anyway, let me edit this one. It might be my phone. Let me restart this one. Okay, so this one has a similar style, and then let me copy and then paste it, these two. And this one on the face, it might be too bright. You can see it's blown out already, and I'm gonna reduce the highlight safe even more. Or this one, we can use the E5 to have a different style in here. So I'm gonna reduce the exposure a little bit more, and then do a 4:5 crop on here. Slightly maintain the center arrangement in here. Okay, so let me finish these two, and then let me take a look at the next questions. And then let me edit this on here. Adjust 4:5 crop for Instagram. Edit and then finish. Okay, so do you think 12 megapixel is more than enough for image resolution or sharpness? Do you feel like more megapixel helps sharpness? Thought on A7S III. Okay. 12 megapixel, it might be a little bit small for me. I think 20 to 24 like the XT2 is good for me for the still. I think the A7S III is very concentrated on the low light performance for the videos perspective. If you're shooting 80% of video and 20% of still, you can just choose the A7 III because it's not intended for still image shooting. If you want the lower megapixel that has the light, you can just use the A7 III. So yeah, I'm curious what's the A7 IV coming up next. Also, like how much new features they are gonna put on. I really like the new menu system. Since they improved the menu system, it's pretty cool. So I will keep an eye on the A7 IV just to check it out. I will do some like the rental later. Either the if A7 IV come out, or the R5 I haven't rented yet. And since right now I don't know if the rental they have enough stock also, So just in case they don't have enough stock, and right now because it's the stay home order, I don't do a lot of in-person shoot yet. Right now it's very limited. I will do some comparison later. Yeah. Okay, cool. So finish the coffee shop style, and let's go through the next one, which is backlight. So in order to get the backlight like this, I have to set the classic chrome in the, you can see that it's a classic chrome C film simulation, because right out of the classic chrome it has a lighter lighter saturation for the classic chrome. It's easier to change the contrast in here, and then once you increase like that and then remove the blue, so you can remove the blue saturation, you can see a difference on the blue on the outfit. So you can change it like that. So this is how I got the sunset tone using the XT tool. Do you upload images to Instagram at full resolution? Yeah, I just export from the VSCO as a full size image. So you can do this, and this save button, you can see the save to camera roll is already it's whatever the VSCO decided the size. I think the size is still good enough for Instagram. If for Lightroom, I choose the 100% quality size for the image, also for the Lightroom, if I export from Lightroom to my phone. And so that's a before and after. You can see that it has more contrast on the shadow side, because it's make the flare stand out also. And there's another style you can choose, is that don't use a lot of contrast, use E5 for this one, so that the shadow is not too dark like the previous one. So in case different light style for your feed, you can change it differently. And this one is facing to the evening light directly. This is about 10 minutes before sunset, so the sun still has some soft light shining through the park. So you can use, I think that those kind of time the light is best, because it's a nice soft light. You can choose some backlight also, but if the front facing light is good. And let me reduce the blue also, just like this one. And if you want to do it for the story, you can just keep it like 3x2, like this one, like that for the story, like 3x2 for the story. Save it, and then save the camera roll. But if you want to do Instagram, you have to crop 4x5. And I think Instagram, if you don't have the right resolution, they will like fix some of the like logic, and then sometimes mess up the quality. Most of the time, if I export from the VSCO seems like the exported resolution 4x5 is pretty good, like aligned with the Instagram, what Instagram wants to have. So if you crop it 4x5 on the VSCO as the last step, I think the image will be sharper. Just my opinion on that. I tried a couple things. Sometimes before I tried the Lightroom 4x5 also, it was pretty sharp already. But I think the VSCO, if you do 4x5, they have some logic that more like optimized for the Instagram. So okay, I have 6 more photos to go, and then let me edit this one. So this one has a nice strong light on here. When I was shooting this one, I have to adjust the compensation dial on top of the Fujifilm camera, just to make sure that the front sensitivity on the face is good enough lighting. And because it's shooting at 1.2, there are enough light to attract in the front of the face, as well as to maintain enough detail of the face as well. So shooting at the 1.2, the advantage is that you can retain detail and lighting in the front, as well as the blown out backlight in the back as well. So I'm gonna adjust the sharpening and then the contrast, and then the 4:5 crop a little bit, slightly reduce more in here, and then like that, and then save it. Okay, so I think it did crash. Yeah, it did happen to me. If I'm editing straight like 20 photos, the VSCO crashed on me also. So yeah, if you experience this also, you can just check out if they have an updated version also. So it happened to me maybe 10% of the time if I edit a lot of photos at the same time. So I think that was one of the disadvantage also, if in case you are in the middle of the editing. So let me edit this one. The other improvement I want them to have is they need to remember the 4:5. Right now they don't remember the 4:5 crop. I have to slightly adjust the cropping from the corner. So I'm gonna reduce the green in this one, just have some less distraction in terms of the other colors, and then reduce the blue a little bit more. Okay, so save this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy and then edit next. So paste all of them. I think it's too bright for this one, so let me reduce the exposure. You can try for this kind of shot, you can try the E5 also. The E5 has nice faded tone in here. So let me update the exposure. Okay, so thank you, thanks everyone for the support. Yeah, so yeah, let me edit this one. This is how the before and after the tone. So you can see the probably I'm gonna just copy the E5 and then put it on the top 3 row. So I'm gonna paste it like that, and then so 3 more to go. So you can see that the front lighting has nice enough light. I didn't use a reflector. I just used the exposure compensation dial on the Fujifilm camera just to on the fly make it enough light in the front, because the f1.2 have enough lighting to satisfy the front lighting already. So you don't have to have a reflector, and in this case it makes the portrait a little bit more natural. It will not have a overblown strong light as well. So it's just my style. I want to have more natural subtle lights on the portrait itself, and without very strong overpower light. And that's yeah, that's I was keeping in mind when I was shooting the portrait, to have as much natural light as available. And if it's at night, I will shoot available street light without external light source. I bought some LCD light for assistant before. I tried to use some LCD constant light also at night, but I think it's I can consider as a challenge just to look for street available light, and you can understand the angle of lighting, and then better to more dynamic on your photography skill. So once you understand the lighting direction and how's the quality of light, and what's the color of the light, and what's the warm tone or cold characteristic of the light, so there's different. Okay, so yeah, that's my edit today. Yeah, I will choose another time frame also, just in case some of you are from a different part of the world that is very late night already. I might choose another one that has one in the afternoon like this time, and then the other one maybe later at night in California, so that it has a different time zone like Australia, Japan, like different part of the world. I know there are some of you from Asia also, and then some of you from different part. So yeah, thanks so much for joining, and stay tuned for more coming up. I will do more live streaming, and then FAQ, photography FAQ. In case you have more FAQ, you can write it down, and then we can answer the next time. I will check it. I will check my schedule to see when's my next one coming up. I might do one tomorrow or not. I will keep you updated, and then just post it on my Instagram story also. Yeah.